Okay, now let's move to integer variable operations. Okay, the first task is use a variable in an arithmetic operation. Okay, so for using a variable, we actually have to create a variable. So I'll create a variable num1, which will be equal to, let's say, 10. And now, again, just that will be easier later, we'll just copy this one line. Should just copy it like this. And, well, let's just write num1 minus 3. You see how this is exactly as we would use a number. The variables, they're used exactly as we use numbers, like in the same place, because what Java compiler does, it goes to this point, and you know, num1, it means nothing to it. It is just a reference to this value, which may change throughout the program. So what it does, it just takes this variable and puts the value instead of this variable. So for a computer, this will look like 10 minus 3. For us, it looks num1 minus 3, and we know that num1 is equal to 10. But the computer literally sees as 10 minus 3. And this should give us a 7. You should try to guess what the output will be before I run it. So if I am trying to explain something, just pause it for a second, try to think what it would be, and then after explanation see what it actually is. And if it doesn't match up, just try to think why did it not match up. Okay, now let's use two variables in an arithmetic operation. So since we have already num1 over here, we should just create a second one, num2 equal to 5. Now let's print num1 divided by num2. And now pause it if you need it to come up with your answer. Let's do, because we know that this is a 10 and this is a 5, because this is 10, this is a 5. Alright, the next topic we covered was string variable operations. So first we'll use string concatenation, and it would be the same thing as if you would add two pieces of text. So here logically 2 plus 2 is 4, because that's numbers. But if we add hello to there, it will be hello there, correct? So let's try to do that. So hello, for example. Note that if I don't keep a space in my string, it will not automatically provide space. So over here, see, if I remove the space over here and I run it, it will be just hello there, like all together. Therefore, I should provide a space over here. Now let's try. Hello there. Obviously, you could also do this multiple times, not just 2 times. So like plus. Now there'll be an exclamation mark as well. Look. Yep. So next step is use variables in string concatenation. Well, that's easy. Same as with integer type exactly. So this will be in text one though. And it will be equal to, well, let's just say hello again. And string text2 will be equal to there with an exclamation mark, just to make it consistent. Whoops. Alright, and now, well, we just need to print it out. And this is how we will do it. Just bring it out if you want to do it in the same way. There's another way you could do it as well. See, exactly same out. There's another way we could actually do it. So instead of creating two separate and concatenating them over here, which is not always a good practice, because the more things there are in here, the more confusing it is. We usually just want one thing to be there, like one variable. And since these are both string, we can just create one variable from the two, right? So here, let's say, we'll write full, because this is the full text, and inside it will add the two. Again, this is not called adding, this is called concatenating. So these two, they're evaluated to hello plus there, and they're saved in this variable called full. And now we can just print out that variable. And now it looks much neater, you see, because here there were two things, and here you know, full. Oh well, that's obviously the full text that's getting printed out. Right now, when there is very less code, it is still alright. But when there will be more, this will get really problematic. So this will help you out a lot to understand what's happening in the code. And look at this, exactly the same output once again. Alright, now I want to show you, what is actually another use of variables. Like just an example. So for example, we say string, because you're like, well, can't we just write, so over here, just hello plus there, and over here, just hello plus there. Like it will be, it just doesn't sound that hard. But what if we have something like, okay, txt1 equal to, and then this will be like a very, very long sentence, and like a lot of dots. It can be anything. It cannot be just one sentence. It can be just one sentence. It can be even like a full text in there. Obviously, there is a limit to how much you can keep inside a string variable type. And then, let's say we want to use it in the code. And well, you know, like if there is a variable, you usually have to use it multiple times in the code. And so every time, if you needed to print out this exact, like a very long sentence, you'd have to copy it, paste it. That is very tough. So what you do is you create a variable, here txt1, and then every time you need to print it or do something with it, just write txt1. Let's take a look. See? Everything got printed out. And now you're like, okay, maybe that's like the one thing you can do with it. But let's say if you want to add something to the end of the sentence, you can really do it easily. See? txt, well, 1, or you don't even need to change it. Like, you can just add it over here. Say plus, and end. A very long sentence, and that's what's going to print out now. Look, there you go. So easy, right? Otherwise, you have to go here, you have to print it out, and let's say if you would want, let's say, multiple print statements here, and here one we wanted to print end, one we want to print start, and put a question mark. See, it'll print end, start. So much easier, right, to work with it.